Welcome back to Biktrix Live. It's another beautiful Friday afternoon. Okay, it's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, and I will see you live just after this excellent pre-recorded piece we're working on here for you. Slight change in plan to the original live schedule for this month. Originally, we were going to be doing a dealership tour today. We're actually going to do that next week. We just had some stuff come up and get a little squirrely, so we're just recalibrating and bringing you something fresh and exciting, and I'm super stoked about this topic. It's something that a lot of our customers have asked for in the past, the option to do what we're about to talk about, and I have super excellent, really fun special guests to help me out with it. So I want to introduce you to Shane. Come on in, Shane. So this is Shane.
Everyone.
He's with our R&D department. So do you want to just give us a brief introduction of who you are and what you do and how long you've been with the company?
Well, I've been with the company for about a year. I'm actually the production manager for all in-house made products. So
like the Armageddon light?
The Armageddon light,
Nice.
Armadillo fenders, and there's a lot of stuff coming down the tubes that we're really excited to unveil for you guys.
Sweet. So if you're loving your Armageddon light like I did, I had to actually use mine yesterday. I rode home in the dark. Ooh, I could see the road. It was perfect. My mom's like, it's so bright. So good job.
Thank you.
All right, so today's topic, like I said, super stoked. Something folks have been asking us for a lot. We are talking about custom colors. This is so exciting. People have asked us for, can I just get whatever? Can you guys do a custom paint job? I would like this bike in that color. Like, how do I do that? And for the longest time, the answer was, I'm sorry, no, we don't have the facilities to do that. We can't quite do that. Oh man, y'all, we're starting to do that. I'm really excited. It's super cool. It's really fun offering to have. So right now we are looking at powder coating, and currently it's just going to be on the FS Pro. You may have seen that listing go up on our website a little earlier this week, and we'll dig into that a little more. But for right now, we're just going to talk about what is powder coating, what kind of options does that open up, how is that different from paint, and what does that mean for you, the customer? All right, so just off the top, Shane, what's powder coating?
All right, so powder coating, instead of using a liquid paint, it uses a powder. So pretty much they take the bare frame, they string it up and run an electric charge through it, spray a powder, and via electrostatically, it attracts to the frame, it adheres, they then take that, throw it in an oven, and it bakes into a shiny coating. Now it goes on a bit thicker than paint, which means that it's a lot more durable, and yeah, you can get just as many awesome colors as you can with paint.
That's awesome. That sounds like quite the process, especially compared to like painting, and when I think of like painting frames and things, I think about the same way they might paint a car where you have like a big sprayer and you're just like, let it dry and you're good to go. This is a lot more to it, it sounds like.
Well, it's a little bit more difficult actually to paint. Most of the time with painting, you have to go over with multiple layers, make sure there's no drips, and there's a lot that goes into painting as well.
Yeah.
But in order to get the kind of thicknesses and the hardness of the coating, you'd have to do a lot more specialized paints in order to get to the level of powder coating. Whereas powder coat, you spray it on, it bakes on, and it's yeah, just better than paint. And
it sounds like there's a lot less margin for cosmetic imperfections.
Absolutely, because they're not spraying on a wet product, it goes on, it adheres in a lot more consistent of a layer.
Sweet, so you're not going to get drips and fingerprints.
No, you don't get any of that.
Things like that.
It's also better for the environment because there's a lot less waste when they're doing this. Once they empty out or they finish a project, they can just take the powder, put it right back into the bag, and it's reusable.
That's awesome.
It checks a lot of boxes.
Behind us here, we have a handful of frames in a couple of colors, which are just the ones we were able to kind of grab together this afternoon. When I say there's just so many choices for colors, like we'll post the website and show, how to go about choosing your colors and things here just towards the end of this video. But when I say there are so many colors, y'all, there are so many colors and like options, and I'm so stoked. I've told Roshan several times that I volunteered to take all the parts off of my bike and get it powder, like stripped and powder coated, because there's some super cool colors. So right here we have a bare naked Ultra FS Pro frame. It looks shiny and smooth. It feels not quite smooth. It is very shiny. So this is got nothing on it. This is just the bare metal. Like you can feel all of the welds. Nothing on it. So tell me about this frame. This seems like it's like step one-ish.
Yeah. So this would be just after fabrication and just after the welds and stuff have been kind of cleaned up. Like you said, it's not quite as pretty as as you would expect, and obviously we couldn't sell this. Now, once we receive a frame that's just bare aluminum like this, it would go to our powder coater where it would get sandblasted. Sandblasting gives it much smoother texture, just kind of softens everything, and it gives it a really good texture for that powder to actually adhere to.
So you want it kind of like when you have to sand two items before you glue them together.
Pretty much.
Kind of idea. So when I feel this one, this feels less smooth than the first one, but that's because we want it to feel a little gritty.
Yeah. Instead of having
like a 400 grit, something like a polished grit.
Instead of having like the lines or whatever, you get little pock marks, but that powder really holds on to that surface. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So then this would be like step 2.
Yep.
And then whatever color we chose, now they're going to dip this in the dust, or spray the dust, electrocute the dust onto it. I like that these bikes are electric start to finish this way.
Yes. So what they would do, they'd take this guy, hang it, sandblast it, then take it, hang it, attach an electrode, and they just have a special gun that they go along with. The gun just they move it around the frame, and the static charge pulls the powder into the frame, then gets hung on a rack right into the oven. She gets baked. And the nice thing with powder coating, you get a plethora of different colors, but then you also have a huge range of top coats that you can also put on.
Let me tell you about my favorite top coat. I'm so excited for this one. So I was going through the website picking out, okay, if I'm going to do my bike, what colors do I want? And I love things that are like greens and purples and teals and blues. I don't know if you can tell, given that all of my gear is those colors. But I was looking for like a really cool teal. And as I was going through colors, I found a section that was talking about top coats. And y'all, they have a glow-in-the-dark top coat. And part of me is just like, woo, Ghostbusters, glow-in-the-dark. I love things that glow in the dark. But also like safety-wise, that's a pretty neat idea for visibility. Yeah. And by what I was reading, it goes on clear You know how sometimes glow-in-the-dark stuff, you can kind of tell that there's a glow-in-the-dark coating? If you ever wore nail polish in the 90s like I did, and you had the glow-in-the-dark top coat, it kind of left like an opaque film almost. You could tell that it was there. They say this one is completely clear. You don't know it's there until it's glowing, and it glows like that normal fluorescent-y, glow-in-the-dark greenish color, which I'm totally stoked about, and I really want that for myself. So if anybody chooses that, please send me photos. It looked awesome. Yeah, so there's a bunch of options. There's so many colors to choose from. If you want something neon, sparkly, you want blue, you want green, you want black, you want hot Barbie pink, whatever your steez, your jam, they have it.
Almost guaranteed the color exists.
It's so cool.
The nice thing about it, with powder coating, it's so tough. It's a very, very tough coating. You're never really going to need, touch-up paints or anything like that.
And so I just want to touch on the touch-up paint a little bit with powder coating, and specifically because these colors are pretty custom.
Yeah.
When you choose your color, that is your color. We're not making 200 bikes in that color like we do with a lot of our regular runs of bikes. We're not necessarily going to have or be able to get powder coating, touch-up paint. And because it's a powder, there's not really a paint anyway. You'd have to figure out how to electrocute your bike. And like, let's not. Let's not. That sounds dangerous and hard.
Yeah.
No. So, just be aware that that is a thing that comes along with going with the powder coat.
Right.
But it is pretty heckin' durable. You were telling me about some of the testing you were doing. I believe something was dragged down an alley.
Yeah, no, we've done some testing with a few different powder coaters actually, with taking battery cases. We took battery cases to a few of our different, prospective people that we were going to take our items to, had them coat them, and then we had to do testing to make sure that they were doing things up to industry standard. So we got them done, brought the cases back, and I ended up dragging them up and down the back alley a few times, tried to scratch off coatings and that kind of thing. And the coater that we currently use turned out to be a really nice local shop.
Sweet.
And his products they come out awesome.
And he's the one who did these, hey?
Yes, absolutely.
Fantastic.
We only have one.
I guess, hey? That's awesome. I'm really digging on this orange. Like, it's got a really cool, glitter to it. Same with this black. And you were telling me this black one is just like a regular black, and then that sparkle is in the top coat.
Yep.
That's so cool.
So you can get a bunch of different effects. Going with a different bottom coat with a different top coat, you get different interesting combinations in that. So when you're trying to customize your color scheme, you can get a one-of-one bike that no one else in the world will have.
Super unique to you. And as it is unique to you, make sure you're getting exactly what, you're choosing the colors that you love, that you want to ride, because this is for you. This is your expression of how rad you are in your biking life. So, and if you have any questions or want a second opinion on how cool that color is going to look or around, reach out to support. We're definitely here to help you out with that. So, to my knowledge, currently, like I said before, it's just going to be on the FS Pro right now. That's what we have released it on. We have a limited number of frames in both the 17 and 18 inch size, as well as with 27.5 by 3 and 26 by 4 inch wheel sets. So they are on the website. We'll do a quick little tutorial of how to choose your colors and how to put them into your cart, so we know which colors to choose. Timeline wise, if our regular bikes have a 2-week lead, custom colors we're going to go with has a minimum 4, because we do have to send these away to get the powder coating done, and it is a one-off. Like I said, we're not doing a whole batch of 100 in metallic Barbie pink because somebody chose it, although that would look so neat. We're just doing the one, and then like you can see, this is how they've arrived to us, the bare frames. And then our awesome team of mechanics, DJ, whom you've met in previous videos, and his whole squad will then get the bike back, and build it literally from the ground up. All the nuts, bolts, battery, the wheel, everything. So it will take a little more time than, you know, picking something that's been pre-painted for you. But I think it's totally worth it.
Yeah,
and like,
absolutely.
I'm so stoked to be able to offer this. The batteries will still be just the regular black battery color. Any other hardware, motor casing, anything else will be its regular colors. The powder coating is just the frames, but still, it still opens up so many options. Do you have a favorite color? Have you looked through the website?
Oh man, when I was at the powder coaters, one of the first times we were there, I saw they were doing a quad frame in like an acid green, but like a metallic, crazy acid green. It was ridiculous.
That's amazing.
And that's, I'm a sucker for green.
I love it.
It's got a pop, but green is my thing.
I was trying to choose like a teal, and they have so many different turquoises and teals and blues and blue greens. Like, the hardest part is just choosing one. There's so many options. It's really cool. Yeah. So don't rush into it. Like, noodle on it. Take your time. Find your color. If there's a color you've always wanted a bike to come in, now's your chance to get that. I'm so stoked about it. Oh my gosh, this is just gonna be so cool. I can't wait to see what everybody makes. And because we have to build them, I'll get to see them. Oh, it's so cool, y'all. All right, so we're gonna do a quick tutorial on how to choose your colors, where to go, and how to add them to cart. We'll cut that in here. Cool. I'm trusting Alex cut that in, and I bet it looked awesome. If you have any questions on the process, please don't hesitate to reach out to support@biktrix.com. We are more than happy to help. And if you have any other questions about this or anything else, pop them in the chat. I'll be joining you live here in just a few minutes. Anything else you want to share about these before we pop to studio?
Not really. I mean, when you're choosing your colors, go crazy. It's really a unique opportunity where you get to actually choose the exact color that you want. So go crazy.
I'm super stoked. All right, so I will see you all in a few minutes to answer your questions from the studio. Thanks so much for joining me today, Shane.
No problem.
Thank you for joining me, and we'll chat again soon. All right, welcome back to the live portion of Friday's Live. I've got Roshan with me for this chat to answer some more questions that you may have about the custom powder coating. I am so stoked for this. So welcome to everybody who's joining us in the chat. Kevin, I'm glad you're enjoying the midnight blue of your Ultra Duo 3. I also have a midnight blue Ultra Duo and can confirm it's a pretty sweet color. However, I have been scrolling through the Prismatic Powders site like a lot, and I fall in love like every third color. There's so much in there. There's so many cool ones. So if you have any questions for us about this topic, please go ahead, pop those in the chat, and we'll be answering them as we go. All right, so welcome back, Roshan. Thanks for joining me this afternoon.
Glad to be here.
I'm so stoked for us to be able to offer this. Like I mentioned in the video that just played, we've been asked for like custom options for a long time. It's something that people have been really wanting, and I'm so stoked that we're going to be able to offer it. So in the video there, we kind of went over the whole process and how it goes, and you've brought a couple frames to show off. So yeah, fill me in on the details. Let me know Your
Well,
thoughts on this?
I'm a little color crazy, right? I actually really love bright colors and all these colors, but I always have to like hold myself back because I'm like, man, I'll make this crazy color and nobody want to buy it, and then oftentimes we hear back from customers that, hey, I'd like to have this. I love this bike. I love all the specs. I want it in a different color.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we've been able to get away with it by doing like a wrap or something. We've done some vinyl wraps and camos and stuff in the past. But those things usually, they take a lot more effort and they're not as nice as a nicely finished powder coat. So we were fortunate that we found a local powder coating shop. They're literally like, I think 5 blocks from here.
That's awesome.
And these guys, like a father and son team, they just kick ass. They do such good work. We've actually got them to anodize or powder coat a lot of little parts that we use in the shop here. And then we tried out with a couple of bikes and they came out beautiful. So now we thought we should just make this standard and offer it for some of our customers, at least for some of our bike models. I think we're going to start off with our FS Pros and then see how they do. And if that's something that people are willing to pay for and people like and appreciate, then we'll roll it out for other models.
Open it up. Yeah, I'm super excited to see just like the kind of colors that folks come up with for this. Just going through the site, there's so many options to choose from. I think the hardest part to choose is just like narrowing it down to the one you want because there are so many. And so this is our first like foray into offering a custom color creation for folks, and I'm hoping it goes really well because I would love to see that expanded. And I do have a question from Rob. Hey Rob, thanks for joining us. Is there a projected timeline for this being offered on an Ultra Duo 3? So I think it kind of is going to depend on how this run goes.
Yeah, so that's something that we like for this particular one. We planned it, so we got a bunch of frames that are bare, that are not painted. So then we were able to get it, powder coated. If somebody really wants it, then we could, like we've done this in the past where we've taken a bike, stripped all the parts, prepped for powder coating, got the powder coating, and then put all the parts back. But of course, I think it involves about 5 to 6 hours of labor doing that. That's the main thing is that, if somebody really wants a color of their dream, like we built a bike for somebody that he wanted the color. It was a different shade of yellow that he wanted to match with, his football team that also matches like 60s Corvette.
Nice.
So we're like, well, we can do that,
we can make that happen.
While we didn't usually specialize in doing that, I think now we're foraying into that because we have the capabilities to do it, and we're assembling these bikes here anyway. So why not? Why not offer that?
So Rob, if you're super serial about getting that done, reach out to us and we can have that conversation. But as for offering it as a wide option on the site like we have now, again, that's just going to depend on how this goes, and if it goes well and it's something that people are really digging and we're able to really nail down that process and have it go beautifully, then heck yeah, we're going to open that up.
And it's so new that we still haven't figured out exactly how we want to do the decals. That's a big thing. So we're looking at, we work with a local, TechWorks here in town that has like a decal, like a cutter, and they have a bunch of different colors of decals that they cut with. There's also some decal shop that do it, but we want to see how we can do this in a much more timely fashion so that, so we're looking into it. We have a laser cutter, but the laser cutter is too strong for decals. It'll just tear through the thing. So that's what's likely going to happen is we're going to offer decal choices where we'll just like cut it out of like premium, maybe reflective even,
that would be cool.
vinyl, and then we'll apply it before we ship it out.
Yeah. And I think it'll be awesome. And we've done custom decal work before, like with the Eagles last, summer of 2020. You could choose your decal color, and those looked pretty slick.
Of course, people thought I was nuts when I told them, whatever color decal you want, we'll do it.
Just pick it.
They was like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, there's some green ones that really popped that I remember they were really cool. Hey, Jennifer, thank you so much for your question. Yes, there are so many options. So Jennifer asks, what is the best type of powder paint? Should I avoid a type or color as far as durability?
It's all the same process.
Yeah.
So in the paint shop or in the powder coating shop, essentially the way it works is they connect like a negative anode or whatever to the frame, and then they spray this powder on, so all the powder sticks onto the frame, and then they bake the frame. So when they break it, the powder actually liquefies and becomes a part of almost like becomes part of the frame. So that process doesn't change for the color. So you could get any color you want, including a transparent. You could get a transparent, which is basically like a clear coat.
Cool.
Which we had on our Ultra FS Pros anyway. So you could get that. So it doesn't matter which color you pick, but keep in mind that if you pick some of those colors that are like, if you click on any of those colors in prismatic powders, it'll tell you like some colors have like 3 coats. You know, they're like, oh, this is like this deep candy apple, so you need to put these 3 different coats. As that, you know, gets more complicated, that means it takes a little more time to do and cure and stuff like that. But if you pick like most of those colors out there, like this yellow here, that galaxy black we have in the back, I wish I could show how glittery that
They're
is.
so sparkly and dynamic and so cool. They're hard to capture really well on camera. And
yeah, like this one's just like a nice yellow.
It's so sunny.
It's glossy, but not much glitter to it.
Yeah.
But this black here is like just unbelievable. It's like got little stars in it kind of thing. It's like so glittery and glossy. So it's all from prismatic powders. You know, you just pick whatever color you like, and we can make that happen for you.
Yeah, and Alex caught the colors really good on the video he shot for us yesterday on here. They're hard to catch, and he did a good job, but these ones are a little tricky in the lighting we're in now. But with, like, as far as durability, Shane, who was in the video that we just watched, I was talking to him about some of their early testing with these. They had gotten some stuff powder coated and brought over, and to durability test it, they dragged things up and down the back alley.
Yes, yeah, like actually that was the test, is that before we started working with this powder coating company, there was another company that we got some quotes from.
Cool.
So I told our guys at R&D that, hey, we shouldn't just pick somebody because we want to do them a favor. We want to pick the best guy for the job.
Absolutely.
So we basically sent them some battery plates that were steel, and then we sent it to both shops, and their task was to kind of like strip it out, you know, soda blast it, and then powder coat it black, and then we bring it back here, we tumble it in our back alley, which has got a bunch of gravel, and then drag it around, throw it around, whatever, then dust it off, clean it up, and see what the damage was. And to our disbelief, there was barely any damage. Like
that's awesome.
Like we beat the hell out of this thing, and there wasn't even a nick. You know, so it was.
That's so good.
So that's why we knew that the durability is a big factor with these, and
especially compared to wet paint, like we've had on like a lot of our pre-selected colors that we get, and so this is to be more durable than anything we've had before.
Yeah, because paint is not structural. You know, paint is just like, it's a coating on top of the thing, it dries, and then there's a clear coat on top.
Yep.
It is, depending on the quality of the paint, they are pretty durable, but not near as much as a powder coat, which is baked into the metal. Like it's so solid, like even scratching it is like kind of hard, because it's like almost part of the metal kind of thing.
That's awesome. I'm super stoked. So, and I think that's going to be really great. So along with that, just given the process, it's not as simple as like, if you happen to somehow scratch it, you can't just paint over it, because it's not a paint, it's a powder, it's a whole thing. So there is no touch-up paint.
Yes, so you wouldn't get touch-up paints for these, because these powders they come in a powder format, and they're baked, and they're not thing. So in the worst case scenario that you get a nick in there somehow, I don't know, you beat it with a hammer, or you fall and crash and get a nick of paint missing, then the best thing to do is to go into your local body shop, ask them if they can match the tone or get somewhere close to it. And if it's just a little nick, you should be able to just get a little touch up there. What I find is that nowadays you get nail polish in almost every freaking color. So that's a close thing. I would probably, go shopping with the missus and find a color that's close enough. And if it's a small nick, you wouldn't notice if it's in there.
Just hit up Sally Beauty or the counter at Walmart. You'll find what you're looking
Whatever
for.
That is, I don't shop those. But,
so powder coat, super durable. I'm super excited to see how this turns out. Wes, that orange is super slick, even cooler in person, can confirm. Rob asks, is this option only to be done on a carbon frame or potentially all types of frame? Actually, none of these are carbon frame.
Yeah, all of these are actually aluminum frame. And in fact, we're not offering these on carbon frames yet, because I know when carbon frames are baked and heat treated anyway to produce those frames. So we haven't done enough experiments to find out how much of a durable solution this is on carbon, and we would never want to release something like that. Plus, we don't have any carbon bikes on the market yet. So yet being the keyword. So so we don't have any carbon bikes on the market. So we're not offering a custom powder coating on them. But these are all aluminum, and there's no problem with powder coating them.
Awesome. Wes also asks, are rims in the future something to get customized colors? Because right now we're just doing frames.
Yeah.
And like we mentioned earlier, it's kind of our pilot project getting into it. So right now it's just the frames, single color kind of situation. What about down the line? Can we do battery casings? Can we do the fenders, the rims?
Actually, like in terms of technical ability, we have no problems doing it, right? Our powder coating shop is equipped with all the tools that they can powder coat pretty much anything. The only question is, do we have the bandwidth to do it, right? So if it's in the peak season where the guys have to build 100 bikes, but we have to make this fender that's this custom color, it might add some delay, you know. So if there is something that needs to get done, then it might be good to, you know, touch base with us and give us enough time that we can actually spend our time and get that done. Nothing happens like when people want like, oh, I want this like crazy, I don't know, cool purple, but I wanted it yesterday. We're like, oh, sorry. Like we just can't be rushed through this process. That's the big thing.
And I don't think you want us to rush through this process,
exactly,
especially when you're getting something so unique to yourself.
And there's several variables involved, right? Like we gotta order the powder, so we don't stock all of the 6,500 powders that they
That'd be
have.
so much.
Exactly. So we order the powders. They come in from the States. It takes 3 to 4 business days. Once it comes in here, then we go to the shop. Now powder coating itself, it's actually pretty complex in terms of labor, because say they're painting this yellow frame, they can't have any other frames in the vicinity. And when they bake it, so they paint they put the powder on this thing and they stick this in the oven. They can't have another color in there. And then say the yellow is done, now they go back to black. They have to clean everything.
Yeah, you have to flush the whole system.
Exactly, and so the guns and the machines and the ventilation system and everything has particles in there. So if you don't clean it properly, then the black would have like spots of yellow in it. Not good. So which is why, well, on purpose maybe it's good, but if people want just the black and they got yellow in it, not good.
Absolutely.
Which is why it's a very time-consuming process, and we don't want to rush it. So right now we're like thinking that from the time they place the order to the time the bike is shipped out, it's probably about 4 weeks.
Give or take.
Give or take 3 to 4 weeks is what we're thinking. Hopefully we'll ship it sooner, but that's like we'd always like to like under promise and over deliver. So
exactly, I would rather say it's going to take 4 weeks and we get it done in 2.5 than say we're going to get it done in 2.5 to come back and be like, actually it's not done yet. So
exactly,
we want to take the time to make these awesome for you, and so I hope that folks ordering them are super understanding and understand that this does take time. This is a more complex process, and just your patience will be worth it. Rob asked, what is the cost of the powder coating option? So right now with the FS Pro, it's built right into that custom color. It's all in that price point. If you, Rob, because you had asked about your Ultra Duo 3 earlier, if that's something you want to explore, just shoot us an email at support@Biktrix and we can have that discussion with you there, because there's some variables to it. So please go ahead and reach out. So just circling back to Wes with, yes, we have the ability to do like rims and fenders and stuff, but for right now we're concentrating primarily on frames, and I think once we get our process really nailed down, we can kind of maybe explore something like that in the future.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think I would love to offer custom stuff to everyone. Like Biktrix, we're not really into the mass production of stuff. We're all of our bikes, we're not looking at making 20,000 of the same bikes and selling it at Canadian Tire or Walmart or any of those big box stores, because that's really not where our passion lies. We want to make bikes that are like premium, that people really like. We do have some entry-level bikes but with very limited options, just because we want people to get introduced to the whole e-bike phenomenon. But our bread and butter is really in making premium bikes that people love and use for years to come.
Exactly.
And with that, we're not it's not, our bikes are definitely not the cheapest out there, and we're not looking to be the cheapest out there. We are a premium offering, and people that have our bikes really appreciate it because of that and the support we offer. Yeah,
absolutely. To the person who asked why we're wearing masks, it's mandated in Saskatchewan, and that's where we live, so we will follow.
Yeah, man. Like I often tell this, when I see comments from people, oh, why are you wearing a mask? Trust me, it's more annoying for us wearing the mask than for the person that's listening to us talking on the mask, but talking with a mask on. But it's mandated right now in Saskatchewan. We're actually going through a crisis with COVID. All our ICUs are full. They're actually transporting people out to a different province, and all these different things are going on. We are all vaccinated here, double vaccinated, but we are required by the law at work to be wearing masks if we're sitting next to each other. And that's the reason we're wearing it. Sorry, man, didn't mean to offend you, but we'd rather be safe than sorry.
Exactly. Awesome. So I'm just going back to bikes because I'm so stoked on these colors. Like, there's so many cool ones on
Yeah, I was
there.
telling you, like, this yellow is so pretty, I feel like eating
So
it.
bright.
You know, but
Right?
don't eat it.
Don't eat it. Don't. It's durable, but don't chew on it, okay? So if anybody else has any more questions about the powder coating process, the timeline, the FS Pro, anything we're covering here, please go ahead and hop those into the chat. We'll just have a couple minutes left here.
Yeah, and tell us what your
before we
favorite
wrap up.
colors are. I think you've seen a lot of
Absolutely.
colors.
Yeah.
So what would your favorite colors be? You know,
What
like,
is your dream color?
yeah.
I really want like a teal. I had a really cool idea. I couldn't find it. It was like the one color I couldn't find. So you remember on like, it's an old Mopar color. It kind of looks like an oil slick. Depending on how you look at it, it color shifts like,
It's like a
chameleon
camouflage.
style. Chameleon
But
style.
chameleon,
Yeah,
I guess,
and
yeah.
they do have chameleons color
They do.
style colors on there, but that went from like a green through blues to like a purple.
Yes.
Oh,
That's
I love one. It's so
I think
cool.
it's either called Prism or Chameleon.
Something- yeah.
One of my friends used to have a Taurus that was painted this color.
That's awesome.
It was freaking hilarious. Like
love
we
it.
would like drive down in this was back in Ontario, and we thought it was just freaking hilarious.
Yeah, I'm so stoked. And then the ones I'm super set on right now is there's a couple really nice like teal and turquoise that also have like a chameleon effect through them that just really pop. And I'm so stoked on those colors.
Yeah, like colors are always it's one of my weaknesses. If I had to pick one color, it'd be pretty hard because I like all these so many colors, you know. And I hope we didn't confuse a bunch of our customers with these colors. So hey,
Yeah.
if you have any doubt, just ask the other person that's living with you on a second opinion and vote for it. You know,
absolutely. And I've told folks, because sometimes I hang out in the showroom and help out there. People will come in and ask us stuff, and I always tell people, I'm like, if I had unlimited money, I would have about a dozen of our bikes already, just because we get such cool colors. And that's before we even opened up the offer to like choose your own color. Roshan just chooses cool colors for
Well,
bikes.
actually, yeah, like that's one of the things that we have several dealers that we've been working with
Yeah.
recently, and these guys are doing a phenomenal job selling their bikes, and we're really picky with our dealers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we want to make sure that they're committed to servicing customers and all these different things. And one of the things that always comes up from these dealers are like, man, look at all these colors that you guys have.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, we work with these other companies and they have like 2 colors.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, our operations guys hate me for it.
Oh, they get so mad.
Because it's such a mess, you know. Like we have 5 different hub duo colors, 2 different sizes, 3 different wheel choices, and that's 5 times 2 times 3. That's like 30 different you know, variants and like all these different things, right? So they don't like it, but I think our customers love it. You know,
I think
and
so too, and it adds just like a uniqueness, because like with the Stunner LT, for instance, anytime we get in a new batch, we've gone with a new color. And
Yes.
so it's gotten to the point now where I can tell when you bought that bike based on the colors. So if you come to me and say like, hey, I have a Stunner LT in mint green, like I know it came from last winter. I have the purple, it was last summer.
And the crazy part is like I look at these colors and I always thought in my mind, okay, we'll just do a bunch of colors and experiment with them and then see like which one sells faster, which one people want more, and we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that data we found is kind of useless because all of the colors sell just as fast.
There's always something for somebody.
I don't think we've got any color that people hated that didn't buy at all.
Yeah.
So it's always a tricky thing, and yeah, hopefully we have a color that you guys like.
Yeah, and if you don't see it, well, find it on the website. We'll help you out. So Wes also asked, are pearlescent colors able to be powder coated?
Absolutely, yeah, like
Yeah.
pearlescent colors are. So just like the one caveat with keeping in mind is that the color that you see on the screen might be different depending on different screens you see, but that pearlescent finish will show up on the paint, like
Yes.
like this one
This
over here.
black one is
The black
so
is like,
glittery.
yeah, it's like this really great. I don't know if it'll show up on the camera. I don't know. We'll
I
see.
don't know if Alex can get in and...
Alex, can you
Oh
show
yeah,
the pearl?
look, right there. You can see it in the
There.
sunlight. Oh.
There we go. Show it in the sun. It's like
Do y'all see that sparkle? That's nice.
This is some crazy sparkle, but in the dark it looks, you know, if it's in the shade, it just looks black, like a glossy black. And then you bring it to the sun and it's like a midnight galaxy kind of a finish. And this is powder coated, so you can absolutely powder coat pearlescent finish.
Thank you, Sunbeam from our window. That helped out.
Yes.
Yeah, it worked out really good. All right, so Jennifer, I'm getting a lot of wow, yes, oh yeah, cool in the chat. It is really cool.
It is cool. Yeah.
Jennifer asked, so how is the price added to the total since the paints are different prices? So right now for the FS Pro, it's kind of, we've encompassed that in the price itself.
Yeah, right now what we did for the FS Pro is I think we've increased all of the prices by a couple of $100, $250 or $200, something on that range. And we're hoping for the best that covers our cost for this thing. Yeah, I think if it doesn't, then I guess I have to revisit the board and take that as a lesson learned. But I think it'll be okay. When we offer these to other frames, we have to figure out what that cost is going to be, and that's why this is like an experiment we're running, right? So we want to see how customers like it, what are the feedback we get, what do they think about the pricing, and does it work out for us?
And like
on
feedback
paper,
from our partners that are doing the work too.
Exactly,
you know?
yeah, and like on paper, it seems like it'll work out great for us. It'll work out just fine for our partners. But that's something that we need to determine by doing this batch. That's why these FS Pros, there's only 40 of them. It's a limited run of 40 bikes. We've already sold, I think, three to four already in the last day. So there's, that many remaining. And once they're done, we don't know when more bare frames are coming. We have them booked a long time ago, but we don't know when it's coming. So, once it comes in, then we'll probably have the next batch after.
Yeah, and if you are looking at a different model and want to talk about getting it custom done, stripped and redone, like reach out, support@biktrix.com. We'll have that conversation. We'll quote you the cost and stuff on case by case as things go. So definitely reach out on that. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so I think we've covered a lot of bases here. Excellent stuff coming from the chat. Thank you guys so much today for showing up with your questions and your comments and checking out the cool stuff we have to show off. I'm so stoked. Let us know in the comments later if you've gone through the website what your favorite color is. I'm excited to see this.
It's probably going to be a blue or a red.
Yeah, that was the first two that were chosen.
Or a black.
Or a black. Hey, if we offered custom colors and everybody just chooses blue, red, and black that we already offered, I mean, I'm glad we were like tapped in and getting people set up.
That was pretty funny. Yeah, I saw the first 3 orders roll in. I was like, black, blue, red. Well, they are cool blue. They do look really so cool blue.
They are really cool.
And the black was like this glossy black, but I was like, okay, I guess I could have predicted that, but I thought out of 6,500 colors, we might see some interesting ones, but thanks for keeping it easy for us, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good spot to start. Yeah. We have another question. Rusty asked, have you looked into ceramic coatings for your painted bikes?
We have looked into those. Unfortunately, getting ceramic coatings done in Taiwan or Asia on our bikes is really up in the air. And it also adds a lot more delay to our process of getting these bikes. First of all, these bikes are delayed from the time we place an order of these frames and components. It's already 12 months late. Oof. So adding another step to ceramic coating would just extend that another 4 to 6 months, and which means that now I have to be a freaking one of those octopus things that predicts the future and predict what bike I'm going to be selling like 18 months from now. Oof. I suck at that. I think people's likings change in 18 months. Everything changes in 18 months. Yeah. So we're trying to, squeeze that into as soon as we can. So with that reason, we're not offering ceramic coatings at this time on our standard bikes.
Plus, I think the ability to do this powder coating, particularly because we are able to partner with just like another local business and like you said earlier, just a couple blocks away from us. That's so cool. And I know that's something people ask us about a lot is like, things being done in North America, things getting done in Canada, built in Canada, whatever. So it's just another way to kind of keep things local and build our own local.
And that was actually an interesting point. Like, as soon as I posted this on Facebook, one of our customers, I think Bruce was the name, he was like, well, I can understand the assembly part of things, but how long to get the bike? Because he thought I was actually getting this powder coated in Asia. Yeah. I was like, man, I wouldn't even attempt doing this in Asia. Because, first of all, we pick a color and it shows up different. Imagine if you had to do that for all the customers. Oof. And we have this great partner locally, and that's the only reason we're even attempting to do this, is because we're able to source this locally.
Awesome.
And by doing this, we're generating another 20 to 30 jobs locally, and I think we can use those jobs right now. So.
Absolutely we can. So yeah, I love that. That's something I super love about the work we do here, is keeping that local and supporting other local businesses in our community. That's fantastic. Maybe I'll get to visit there, and maybe a future life could happen. We'll see, no promises, but I think that would be super cool. All right, so I think we've covered a lot of bases here, a lot of great information in here. Again, let me know your favorite color. I'm so interested to see it. I know my favorite color. I'm just so stoked for all of these. No, I don't. That was way to call me out. No, I don't. I have a new one all the time. I have so many favorite colors. It's
just like the design on your mask. It's like
I know,
changing all the time. All the colors are changing all the time.
They're all reversible too, actually.
Oh God. Okay, I'm just boring black.
I like style. It's fun. I'm so stoked to see what everybody does with this. So thank you again for joining me this afternoon, and like bringing this cool new option to our bikes. Like, I'm really excited for the way this is going. Thank all of you for joining us this afternoon for this chat, and all the times you do show up and watch these videos. I super appreciate it. They're a lot of fun. Next week, because this week was going to be a dealer tour and things just got a little shaken up, but we're going to do that dealer tour next week. So do tune in then, and I will see you there.
Hey, thanks for doing this, Shannon. Thanks, guys, for joining us.
Have a good one.